Ever since I was a wee lad, for as long as I can remember, I've been playing video games. Whatever I could get my hands on, and or whatever my mom would let me play, I would spend hours on it. To this day, I remember playing Ape Escape on the PSP me and my brother shared for hours, and hiding it under the covers when my mom would come check on me. It's an experience I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. This long history of my time with gaming has all led up to today, where it seems every AAA game that comes out is, for lack of a better word, dog shit. But why is that? How did we get here? Are games really getting worse, or are we as consumers just expecting more and more from developers, and they just can't keep up? Maybe it's one, maybe it's both, maybe it's neither. If you don't already know, live service games are games that are constantly updated and changed by developers after the initial release. This is done to drop new content and patches for players on a consistent schedule. On paper, this sounds great. New content, bug fixes, balancing, so many options to improve games. However, in practice, I think we all know that's not how things usually play out. So many games nowadays give the appearance of a fun live service experience, but when you actually play it, shit usually sucks. Games release broken, half complete, with zero content, and expect players to have a field day in these busted products, and then have the audacity to drop an in-game store with goofy-ass overpriced cosmetics or a battle pass in a game you already paid $70 for. Modern Warfare 2 recently came out, and if you've played it, you can realize there's nothing to fucking do in that game. Because it's a live service, more content is obviously coming, but why do developers launch these games so bare bones? MW2 released with no 2v2 gunfight, no hardcore, 8 core game modes, no gunsmith customs, completely broken lobbies, game crashes, horrible UI, the list goes on. It's like every year they make a game that has tons of potential, but they're forced to implement anti-fun mechanics that always hold the game back. Oh, you're actually having fun? We don't allow that here at Activision. Take some skill-based matchmaking and unfinished systems, and grind your fingers off until you don't even have fun with this game anymore. Play of the games have been broken since 2019, and they still haven't fixed it. If that's not proof they don't care, I really don't know what it is. Modern Warfare 2019 launched with more stuff to do, so how exactly are we going backwards? Why release a game that's obviously busted? Well, it's because they know they can get away with it. So many games release in similar states. They launch broken, with nothing to do, they get backlash, they very slowly start making the game what it should have been at launch, backlash slows down, people start spending more money on microtransactions, and then everyone just forgets about it. It fucking sucks. But that's just what modern gaming is. Greed over fun, money over everything else. Kind of like every other industry in the world. Look, I get it. We understand. These are products that are made to make money. But come on, man, look at this shit. You've seen this clip a million times, and it still holds weight because of how insane it is. We shouldn't just accept these broken-ass games anymore. If you're really tapped in, you know that indie games are dropping heaters behind the scenes, but not everyone wants to play games like that. We want big-budget fun games that aren't plagued with bugs, microtransactions, and skill-based matchmaking. We just want to have fun. Every game nowadays is free to play, has a battle pass, has overpriced cosmetics, and forces you to spend 30 years of your life grinding if you want to earn stuff instead of spending money. Overwatch 2 is a great example of what modern gaming has become. Going free to play and embracing the battle pass / store microtransaction system that every other game has used since Fortnite came out literally ruined that game. I was actually excited for Halo Infinite to come out. The first shooter I ever played was Halo Reach, and ever since then, I bought every Halo that's come out. However, I didn't buy Halo Infinite. I tried out the free multiplayer that promised us so much. You don't need me to tell you that Halo Infinite is terrible. Like every other AAA game today, it has a battle pass, an overpriced store, a terrible progression system, and no content. I haven't touched that game in forever, and if you check out the Steam charts, I'm definitely not the only one that gave up on it. To sum it up, the answer all along has been greed. More and more developers no longer care about making games actually fun, or for that matter even playable. and instead try to squeeze out as much money as humanly possible from consumers before they realize the game they're spending so much money and time on actually fucking sucks. I really don't think the majority of players are expecting all that much from developers besides genuinely fun and engaging games, and that's something that most of them are incapable of making nowadays. The most fun I've had in recent years playing games has been in single-player experiences that focus on telling engaging stories with fun gameplay. And it's sad to say, but big studios don't make games like that anymore. In the past couple of months, I've spent way more time replaying Skate 3 than I have playing online multiplayer games, because when that game came out, games were more about fun rather than microtransactions. Older games in general have been a lot more fun to revisit than games that release today. Everything just feels like it was made to make money and nothing else. Like every system and mechanic was scientifically made to manipulate you into spending more and more money, and eventually players are going to break. I don't see consumers tolerating these systems in the coming years. There are already tons of great videos criticizing these games, and there are more and more people who share the same sentiment as me. Players are starting to get sick of the way AAA developers treat consumers, and I hope that soon a major shift happens in the industry. A shift where the focus isn't solely on money, but instead on making genuinely fun games that players can enjoy for years. Until that happens, we'll continue to see failures like Battlefield 2042, Halo Infinite, Fallout 76, Anthem, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, the list goes on.